Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna. Can someone, one second. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. We welcome everyone to our Sunday program today. We're very, very excited to have a two-part celebration starting today where we're going to be celebrating Gaura Purnima. Does everyone here know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is? Yes? Everyone? Everyone knows here? Okay, wonderful. If you know, excellent, we'll get to know more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here shortly. And if you by any chance don't know, then you will find out here very soon. So we are celebrating Gaura Purnima. The actual festival is tomorrow. Today is our part one of the celebration. We're very, very excited and honored and so happy to have His Grace Arjuna Sakha Prabhu join us for the celebration. Arjun Sakha Prabhu, as many of you know, is an absolutely wonderful young devotee who is doing so much to share the glories of Krishna all around the world. On Instagram, I keep seeing small snippets of Arjun Sakha Prabhu's classes that get shared by various devotees, and they're so beautiful. Recently, I was seeing one where Prabhu, you were singing Chaurashtakam. And it was just so wonderful to hear. And we're very fortunate here in our community in Round Rock that Arjun Sakha Prabhu has come so many times. This is his first time coming here to this newly renovated temple room and seeing Shri Shri Radha Kunj Vihari. So we just hope this is first of many visits, right, Arjun Sakha Prabhu? Okay, wonderful. Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj, and he's currently based in Seattle. In Seattle, Arjun Sakha Prabhu works very closely with the youth there to encourage them to do more kirtan, to go out, spread the holy names of Krishna more and more in Seattle. So we're so grateful that Prabhu is joining us here and continuing to inspire our youth. Before I made the announcement, thank you Sakshi Gauranga Prabhu for doing that. We really appreciate everyone coming a little closer, as in more people will come and they have space to sit. With that, we will get started. We will do some kirtan and then Arjun Sakha Prabhu will give a class. Let us loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra Texas style to welcome Arjun Sakha Prabhu from Seattle. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Shri Shri Radha Kunja Bihari Ki Shri Gauranitaya Ki Shri Jagannath Shri Baladev Shri Subhadra Shri Sudarshan Ju Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari जया गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनाचारे 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनाचारि यमुना कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे everyone hare krishna O Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Jaya Radhe जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जय राधे जय राधा कुंज बिहारी श्री राधे जय जय राधा कुंज बिहारी श्री राधे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय जय गौरानिताय ओ जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रीला प्रभुपाद जय 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 प्रभुपाद श्रीला प्रभुपाद जय जय ओ जय जय गुरुदेव श्रीला गुरुदेव जय जय निताय गौर हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा निताय गौरा हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल निताय हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल श्री योग धर्म हरि नाम संकीर्तन के श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी लाल के श्री जगन्नाथ श्री बलदेव श्री सुभद्रा श्री सुदर्शन जी की जय श्री गौरनिताय की श्रीला प्रभुपाद के श्रीला गुरुदेव के निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की Before I begin, I just want to express my joy, my heartfelt appreciation to all the devotees, to the temple management who have come up with this very, very, very spectacular home for Shri Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. When I came here last time in July, this was like a warehouse. And I was told that something is going to come up. But I had never imagined that it would come up the way it has come up. When I was in Seattle, I would see from the webcams. But I think it definitely makes a big difference when you see from the webcam and you personally walk in. This is something else. I still remember the first time when I came to Austin, we had the center in correct, I don't remember the address, but I still remember the place. And then we had it here. And I think every time I come, it's going one notch higher and higher and higher. The congregation is increasing. I see many new devotees. The deities are new. I can't express how happy I am. So to all the devotees who are working hard day in and day out to make sure Radha Kunj Bihari is worshipped here, he has a proper place to stay, my heartfelt gratitude and my heartfelt appreciation to all of you all. Before I begin, I want to express and prostrate myself in front of all the devotees present here. Please bless me so that I can speak some favorable words in the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is going to advent tomorrow. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Also, before we begin, let us chant the Mangalacharan prayers, also called as the invocation prayers. Let us seek auspiciousness from our spiritual superiors like Srila Prabhupada and then get started. Those who have it by heart can chant along, and those who do not can simply hear. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Gaurav Bhakt. All together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should know that we are excited for his appearance. Can we have one more time the Texas style? Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Now I feel I've come to Austin. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati, in his book called as Chaitanya Chandramrita, very beautifully quotes a verse. We can have a call and response. Kindly repeat. Ananda Leela Maya Vegrahaya Hemavadevya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Ananda Leelamaya. He is the embodiment, the deity form of happiness. We are all looking for happiness. There is no one in this world who is looking for distress. No one is looking for sorrow. Is there anyone who can put their hand up and say, Prabhuji, I want distress in my life? There is too much happiness, Prabhuji. I wanted distress. Anyone? And if you think, let me remind you, if you think you don't have distress in your life, let me remind one distress that pretty much everyone has. Ready for it? I-140. See? Priority date. Vermont Center, California Center. That is one distress that is like Sudarshan Chakra, it is hovering over her head. Till the time you don't have a green card or citizenship, this chakra is always there. So we are all distressed. We are all, at some point, some sorrow is there. So we need him. More than he needs us, we need him. Like in Hindi they say, Ram Milay Jodi. This is Ram Milay Jodi. He is Ananda Leelamaya. He can give happiness and we are in need of happiness. So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Ananda Leelamaya Vegrahaya. Oh, what is his complexion? Hema Vadevya Chavi Sundaraya. He is Hema. He is gold in complexion. Shama Sundar is bluish black. Sri Ram is like the complexion of the green grass. The 9th canto of the Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami very beautifully says, when the Supreme Lord comes down as Sri Ram, he steals the complexion of the grass. When he comes down as Krishna, steals the complexion of the cloud. And when he comes in Kali people are running behind gold, so he wants to steal the complexion of the gold. Srila Bilva Mangala Thakur says Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Sri Ram is the best among thieves. सबसे बड़े चोर है. Whatever he does it with perfection. Chauragra Ganyam Purusham Namami. Braje Prasedam Navanita Choram Gopangananam Chadukula Choram Aneka Janmarjita Papa Choram Chauragra Ganyam Purusham Namami. He steals, he is excellent in stealing. He lies, he is excellent in lying. He cheats, he is excellent in cheating. Whatever he does, he is excellent. Oftentimes this question is asked, he does, that is okay, I do, that is a problem. He steals, it is okay, he is glorified. I steal, I am put behind bars. He lies, it is okay, I lie, it is a problem. He has 16,000 queens. Why I have only one? Well, he can also maintain. To all the grahasthas here, you know what I am talking about. I was at one place and that Prabhuji was telling me. This is a grahastha joke. One Prabhuji was telling me. He said, Prabhuji, marriage is a relationship where one person is always right and the other person is called husband. I said, okay, Krishna. At least for me it is Gyan, for him it was Vigyan. My goodness, these grahasthas have such interesting jokes, experiential. So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Ananda Leelamaya. He is filled with happiness. What is his complexion? Hema. He's like gold. Hema vadivya chavi sundaraya. But what is he coming down to give? Tasmae mahaprema rasa pradaya. He's coming down to give mahaprem. He's coming down to give love. Love of Godhead. Love unto himself. By the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. To that Chaitanya Chandra, to that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, I offer my obeisances. So these verses are so wonderful. Whenever we have time, we should make sure that we by heart verses. Every day at least 10 minutes. And every Sunday we come and look at Kunj Bihari, we should offer one new verse to him. Because it is always said when you go and meet guests, Atiti Devo Bhava. Right? Atiti Devo Bhava. He is actually Deva. He is actually Supreme Lord. So when we go to see him, how can we go empty-handed? So if finance is a stress, we can by heart verses. Every Sunday, one new verse and we can offer it to the Supreme Lord. Which means in a month, 4 new verses. Which means in a year, 48 new verses. 50 new verses can be by hearted in a year and offered to Kunj Bihari. Isn't that progress, dear devotees? In a month, just 4 verses. And all that it takes is just 10 minutes. Before going to bed, 10 minutes of by-hearting verses. That's it. So Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj says, in whichever kingdom you are, you should worship that king. If you are in the kingdom called as Satyuga, worship the king of Satya, that is Narsinghadev. If you are in the kingdom called as Treta Yuga, then worship the king of Treta, that is Shri Maryada Purushottam Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. But if you are in the kingdom called Dwapar, worship the king of Dwapar, that is Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. But if you are in the kingdom called as Kali, then wholeheartedly worship the king of Kali called as Shri Sachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. And if you are in America, then worship Donald Trump. Whichever kingdom you are, you worship that king. But we are in the kingdom called as Kali Yuga. And for us, it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur very beautifully says something. One time, Suta Goswami. Who is Suta Goswami? So just for some context, the Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of Ganga. And in that assembly, audience was Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami hears that Bhagavatam and then goes to Naimisharanya and speaks the same Bhagavatam to Shaunakadi Rishi. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that same Suta Goswami was now speaking Gaur Katha, not Bhagavat, not about Krishna, but about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where? At Naimisharanya. But this is not the Naimisharanya of Bhagavatam. This is the Naimisharanya in Navadvip. In Navadvip, one of the islands is called as Madhyadvip. What is the name? Madhyadvip. In Madhyadvip, there is a place called as Naimisharanya. So, Suta Goswami is speaking Gaur Katha to Shaunakadi Rishi. And where are they speaking? Round Rock. Where are they speaking? Naimasharanya, yes. They are speaking Gaur Katha at Naimasharanya. Now when Gaur Katha is going on, our Bholenath, Shambhu, Shivaji, he gets to hear Katha is going on. So he sits on the order carrier. Who is the order carrier of Shivaji? Nandi. Oftentimes you see, when you go to Gopeshwar Mahadev in Vrindavan, it is generally believed that if you close one of the ear of Nandi and say something in another ear, whatever desire you have, that gets fulfilled. So oftentimes in Gopeshwar Mahadev, you will find the line for Nandi will be bigger than the line for Gopeshwar Mahadev Darshan. Gopeshwar Mahadev, 3-4 people. Nandi, 10-15 people. That day is not far that Nandi has had so much that Nandi's ears will also close. So Shivaji's order carrier is Nandi. So Shivaji sat on the order carrier. Now he wants to go where? To Naimasharanya. To do what? To hear Gaur Katha. Shivaji was going. And at one point Shivaji realized that this Nandi is very slow. If this is the speed in which I go, I will reach only for prasadam. Katha will be over, I will reach only for prasadam. That activity that really attracts our heart, prasadam. You see in ISKCON centers, for Katha there will be about 30-40. For prasadam, out of nowhere there will be 70-80 people. This is achintya. Only ISKCON only ISKCON devotees can understand this. This is achintya. Kahan se aate, only they know. So we see Shivaji, he was in the Nandi and he realized this Nandi is very slow. If this is the speed in which I go, Katha will be done. So he kept the Nandi to the side. He parked the Nandi to the side. He went to Brahmaji. Now Brahmaji is closing his eyes. 4 heads, 8 eyes, all are closed. So he went to Brahmaji and said, my dear Brahmaji, your eyes are anyway closed and you are anyway sitting. Why don't you give me your order carrier? Who is the order carrier of Brahmaji? Swan, Hamsa. Why don't you give me your swan, Hamsa? I will sit on that swan and I will go to Naimasharanya and I will hear Gaur Katha. So Brahmaji said, fair enough. Anyway, I am not using, so maybe you can use it. So Shivaji sat on the order carrier. He sat on Hamsa and started flying. And he went to Naimasharanya. This is why, dear devotees, you find in Sanskrit there is a word called as Lupta. What is the word? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, many times this word will be used. Lupta. Lupta means lost. Kalena vrindavana keli vartam lupteti tam khyapaitum vishishya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses this word when he speaks to Rupa and Sanatan. Lupta means lost and Hansa means swan. This is how you get the famous order carrier Lufthansa. This is real. It is Lupta Hansa, the lost swan of Brahmaji, because the swan goes from one place to another. It's an order carrier. But now that swan is not seen. So they have taken the concept, they have taken the name, but added their German touch to it. Lupta Hansa becomes Lufthansa. And we go like, wow, Lufthansa. But the origin is Vedic tradition. It's coming from Shastra. It's Lupta Hansa, the lost swan of Brahmaji. Everything has its origin in Shastra. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muraho Bhuvi Bhabu. What is that verse? Bhavuka, yes. If someone can taste the sweetness, the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam, the heart will not go anywhere. We will find all the origin for everything in Shastra. So fortunately, Shivaji reached on time, not for prasadam, for Katha. He reached on time for Katha and for 7 days he heard Gaur Katha. What is the praman? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. So we see the purpose of devotees coming together. Oftentimes sadhu sangha is stressed so much. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koy, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Time and again, Mahaprabhu tells this to Sanatan Goswami. Time and again, sadhu sangha is stressed. When devotees come together, the aim and agenda of that is to hear and chant. The aim of devotees coming together is not to discuss how much Virat Kohli scored, what happened in the FIFA World Cup, what is Joe Biden doing. That anyway outside we are doing. The purpose of devotees coming together is hardcore discussion of Krishna Katha. Because throughout the week, we are dealing and we are talking to those who are non-devotional. So this 1 hour, 1.5 hours that we have should be used to recharge our batteries so that next 1 week we can still be strong and grounded in the path of spirituality. So the purpose of Sadhu Sangha is to chant and hear. One time our Narad Muni, you see Narad Muni oftentimes in the Indian daily soaps, he is showcased in a very wrong way. Narad Muni kaun hai? Prabhu ji chugli karte hai Narad Muni. You see all the time daily soaps, Narad Muni kaun hai? Chugli karte hai. But actually we see Shastra explains Narad Muni is a Paramhamsa. Why? Narad Muni bajaye veena Radhika Ramana Name. O Narad Muni bajaye veena Radhika Ramana Name. Who is Narad Muni? Narad Muni bajaye veena. He is playing the veena and chanting the names of Radha Raman, Radhika Raman. Constantly chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. So that Narad Muni, he went to the house of one devotee. He went to the house of one devotee, and after speaking to the devotee for some time, he realized that the GPS took him to the wrong address. This is not very intended to come. He came, he spoke, and then realized, Alexa, hey Siri, it has taken him to the wrong address. So he decided to leave from there. But while he was leaving, this person who was there, he asked Narad Muni, my dear Narad Muni, I have a question for you. It is always said, Sadhu Sangha is very glorious. The glories of Sadhu Sangha is emphasized. You please tell me, what did I gain by associating with you? You are such a great devotee. What did I gain by associating with you? Now Narad Muni, out of his humility, cannot say anything. So Shripad Narad Muni, he says, oh, this is a very loaded question. I have no answer to this. And Narad Muni doesn't give a reply. At the end of that life, that person dies, and because he was sinful, Yamaraj gives him a VIP entry, red carpet entry. He goes to Yamalok. He goes to Yamalok and Yamaraj sees him, and practically he has ticked all the boxes. Whatever sins are there, he has done everything. And now Yamaraj is deciding what punishment he will get. This person said, punishment is okay. But first you tell me, I am at Narad Muni. What did I gain from that? Sadhu Sangha is glorified so much. I met him, what did I get? Yamaraj said, oh, this is a very loaded question. Even I have no answer for this. Let's go to Indra. So they took Narad Muni along with them. So Narad Muni, Yamaraj, and this person, all of them, they go to Indra, Devraj. They go to Indra, and Indra says, why have you come here? And this person says, look, my question is very simple. I met Narad Muni, but what did I gain out of meeting? I was taken to Yamalok. So what did I gain out of meeting Narad Muni? Indra said, oh, this is a very loaded question. Even I have no answer to this. Let's go to Brahmaji. So they went to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji was sitting, eyes were closed. Just like many times our class is going on, but our eyes are closed. Some people, their eyes were closed. After I said this, they opened. Oh my goodness. So they went to Brahmaji. His eyes were closed. They went to Brahma and said, we have a question for you. Brahmaji said, what is it? This person said, look, when I was alive, I met Narad Muni. But still I was taken to Yamalok. So what did I get out of meeting Narad Muni? What was my gain? Brahmaji heard that question and Brahmaji said, oh, this is a very loaded question. Even I have no answer to this. Then they went to Bholenath, Shambhu, Shivaji. They went to Shivaji, and Lord Shiva was sitting. And Shivaji said, "Oh, why have you come here?" This person said, "Look, I have repeated this over and over again. You see, many times when you're on a call with a customer care, and they keep redirecting you, one person to another person to another person. Where is the origin? Shastra is the origin. So the next time in a customer care call, we keep getting redirected. Rather than being agitated, we can remember this. This happens even for Yamaraj. Happens even for Indra. This is parampara. It is coming down in parampara. If Shastra Chakshu is there, in all situations we can be tam titikshasva bharata. We can be calm. When Shastra Chakshu is not there, that's when we become agitated. We always see those who are devotees are very calm. Or at least are supposed to be calm. But generally we see they are always very calm because Shastra Chakshu is there. So now, all of them go to Shivji. Who all? Yamaraj, Narad Muni, Indra, Brahma, and that person. All of them go to meet Shivji. So, this person again says, "My dear Shivji, I have a question." What is the question? "Well, I met Narad Muni. What did I gain from that? I was still taken to Yamalok, so you please tell me what I gained." Shivji heard that question. And Shivji said, "Oh, that is a very loaded question. Even I have no answer to that. Let's go to Vishnu." So all of them went to Vishnu. Vishnu was taking rest. They went to Vishnu. And this person again explained the whole story. That I met Narad Muni in my life, but I don't know what I gained. So all of us have come to ask you, what did we gain? Vishnu heard that question and Vishnu said, "Oh, this is a very..." No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. When Lord Vishnu heard it, Lord Vishnu said, "Oh, what did you gain by meeting Narad Muni? The thing that you gained by meeting Narad Muni is Indra, Brahma, Shivji, Yamaraj, Narad Muni have all escorted you to Vaikunta to see me." This is what Vishnu said. This is what you get by meeting or associating with devotee for a fraction of a second. You get grand VIP entry and so many people as bodyguards to take you. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So look at our fortune. There are so many in Austin, but how many are fortunate enough to hear the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just before the Advent? If not for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we cannot come here. It is his mercy, it is Radha Kunji Vihari's mercy, because of which we are all assembled here to chant and dance. So in this way we find that one time Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, every time he was in Jagannath Puri, when he would take darshan, he would not stand in front of Jagannath directly. He would stand near the Garuda Stamba. Why Garuda Stamba? Because Garuda is a devotee. So Saraswati Thakur would think upon himself, Jagannath may or may not see me, but he will definitely see Garuda, because Garuda is a devotee. So if I stand near Garuda, 100% he will see me. But where did Saraswati Thakur get that mood from? From Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because when Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, he would not stand in front. Oftentimes when we come inside, we stand here. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was he would stand behind, near Garuda. Because 100% Jagannath will see Garuda, and if he sees Garuda, he will also see me. So oftentimes when we go to ISKCON temples where we have Prabhupada Murti, it is worthwhile to stand near Prabhupada. Because just like Garuda is a pure Vaishnava, Prabhupada is a pure Vaishnava. So he may or may not see me, but 100% he will see Prabhupada. And if we are standing next to Prabhupada, the Supreme Lord will also see me. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was once sitting near the Jalangi river in Mayapur. And he was feeling very dejected. Why? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur had left this world. His Gurudev Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj had left this world. So he was feeling very dejected. At that time, one page came floating. It flew and it came near Srila Saraswati Thakur. And it was very interesting verse. Kindly repeat. Krishna Bhakti Krishna Prem Seva Pravartan Lupta Tirtha Uddhara Ara Vairagya Sikshan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this verse to Shripad Sanatan Goswami. What is Mahaprabhu saying? Mahaprabhu tells Sanatan Goswami 4 things. My dear Sanatan Goswami, I have 4 instructions for you. Shikshan, please teach this world. Teach what? Krishna Bhakti. Please teach them the science of Krishna Bhakti. Krishna Prem, teach them the science of Krishna Prem. Seva Pravartan, teach them how to do devotional service. And finally 4th, Lupta Tirtha Uddhara, re-established lost places. You see again the word Lupta is there. Lupta Tirtha Uddhara, re-establish lost places. Srila Saraswati Thakur saw this verse. It came floating by, and when he saw this verse, he was again re-inspired to spread Krishna consciousness, and that's when the Gaudiya Math started coming. Bhakti Vinod Thakur had left, his father had left, his Gurudev, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj had left, and Saraswati Thakur had almost lost motivation. But seeing this one verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructing Sripad Sanatan Goswami, Srila Saraswati Thakur came back with redoubled enthusiasm to spread Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada was like this, taking the same mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking the same mood of Srila Saraswati Thakur. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always ready to embrace and accept everyone. Look at Devananda Pandit. Look at Amoga. Look at Gopal Chapal. Look at Gopal Chakravarti. And so many others. All of them were critical and envious. How about Ramchandra Puri? So many of them were critical and envious. But the Supreme Lord is ready to accept and embrace all of them. And our Prabhupada was like that. Ready to accept and embrace everyone and anyone. Male, female, Indian, American, child, adult, old age. Whoever they are, Prabhupada was ready to accept them. Sripad Jayananda Prabhu, Prabhupada's very dear disciple. He went to Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And he told Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was going to Prabhupada's room to get Brahman Diksha. So Jayarada Prabhu asked Tamal Krishna Maharaj, can I also come with you? So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, well, you don't have to ask. You can definitely come. Sripad Jayarada Prabhu was already Brahmanically initiated. 1 year ago, he had already got Brahman mantras. So he again went to the room. When he went to the room, Prabhupada saw him and Prabhupada said, why have you come? You are already initiated, why have you come? So Jayarada Prabhu said, Prabhupada, I am not able to memorize the Brahman mantras. It had been 1 year and Jayarada Prabhu still could not memorize the Gayatri mantras. He was struggling. So he told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, after you chant the mantras to Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj, can you also tell me? Srila Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada chanted the mantras to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and now it was time for Jayananda Prabhu. Prabhupada said it once. Jayananda Prabhu could not get it. Prabhupada said it second time. Jayananda Prabhu could not get it. Prabhupada said it third time. Jayananda Prabhu could not get it. This went on for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, Prabhupada was chanting mantras and Jayananda Prabhu just could not get it. Finally, Prabhupada, after 30 minutes, he said, my dear Jayananda, you chant the mantras the way you want. I guarantee Krishna will accept you. Because you are doing so much service for building Jagannath Rath, jaisa chant karna chant karo. Krishna will accept. But this was only once that Prabhupada gave an instruction to one disciple. Not applicable for us. Prabhuji, Arjuna Sakha Prabhu ne class mein bola, you can chant the way you want. Oftentimes our chanting is very hilarious, if you see. It is very, only our family members know. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. The way we chant, it is very mysterious. Our hand will be there in the bead bag. Our hand will be there in the bead bag. And with this one finger, we will do everything. We will delegate work to others. We will move the steering wheel. Oh, why to forget? Only if Prabhupada knew, he would have stitched this also. Bichare Prabhupada ko pata nahi tha. He would have stitched this also. My goodness, our chanting, We know what we are talking about. So this was only one time instruction was given to one disciple who was very exalted. It was not a public instruction. We have to chant the way we are taught to chant. So the point we are saying is, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accept and embrace everyone, Prabhupada was like that, ready to accept and embrace everyone. Hayagriva Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. He founded the new Vrindavan property in 1969. And now Hayagriva Prabhu had some hiccups in his bhakti. He joined in 66. He was the first editor of ISKCON. And then few hiccups here and there he left. And then 1969 again he joined. And when he joined, he found the new Vrindavan property. It is Hayagriva Prabhu who found. So now, please listen to this. When he found the new Vrindavan property, he got to know that Prabhupada is going to make him the temple president. So he found the property and now Prabhupada is going to make him the temple president. It is almost like "Aa bail mujhe maar." So Prabhupada was about to make him the temple president. Now he got to know about that. So he decided, if Prabhupada says this, I will say this, to refute. If Prabhupada says this, I will say this. Prabhupada says this, I will say this. Whatever Prabhupada says, I will say this and I will refute. But I don't want to become temple president. Prabhupada called him to his room. Hayagriva Prabhu went inside. You know what's coming up. He went inside. And Srila Prabhupada said, so, I have something for you. And Hayagriva Prabhu was convinced. Prabhupada is going to tell me to become temple president and I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I have arguments ready. I will refute. Prabhupada said, so, I want you to take sannyas. Out of syllabus question. He studied for the syllabus. Question came out of syllabus. He said, Prabhupada, sannyas? Prabhupada, I had hiccups. I left the movement. Prabhupada said, no, if you're there with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, you can be proper. He said, no, Prabhupada, but I don't even know the philosophy properly. He said, if you're there with Jayadvait Maharaj, he will teach you. If you follow the 4 regulative principles, this will happen, this will happen. And Prabhupada was also not giving up. Went back and forth. Whatever Hayagriva Prabhu was saying, Prabhupada was refuting that. So Hayagriva Prabhu understood his game is up. So finally Hayagriva Prabhu, after saying this, finally he said, Prabhupada, you tell me whatever. I am ready to do whatever you want, but I cannot take sannyas. Prabhupada said, okay, become temple president. Krishna Bhakta, very legend. And very his also. Excellent memory. Anyone know the name? Amoga, yes. Yes, thank you so much. The son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya by the name Amoga. Now Amoga had a problem. Very envious. Very critical. You see, envy is such a characteristic. If we closely observe, 2 people doing the same service will be envious of each other. A Kathakar will be envious of another Kathakar, but he will not be envious of another temple president. Envy in bhakti is always between 2 people who are pretty much doing the same service. And we may have experienced that. If a person is singing, then another singer will think, oh, why is the mic given to him? Why not to me? I have also learned Hindustani. I also know ragas. Why only to them? In Sunday feast announcement, I also prepared, I also made cake, but my name was not announced. That Mataji's name was out to make sure that Amoga doesn't enter inside. Because if he enters, he will be critical of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was honoring prasadam. But so happened that Sarvabhauma that went and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was nicely having rice, dal, sabji, chole, pakoda, sandesh, rasgulla. Yesterday program, and I said, any more sweet? And the devotee sitting next to me said, Prabhuji, malpoha. Mahaprabhu was nicely having. At that time, Amoga came inside and he looked and said, hey, you should not eat so much. Now this was his understanding. And when Mahaprabhu heard this, Mahaprabhu didn't say anything. Mahaprabhu just laughed it out. He just smiled. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very angry because he knew his son-in-law is critical. So he took a stick and started running behind him. Just like Yashoda Maya was running behind Damodar. Likewise, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was running behind Amoga. And somehow Amoga ran away. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asked forgiveness. And Mahaprabhu said, that's okay, no problem. Srila Prabhupada, when he was there in 26 Second Avenue, in the initial days when Prabhupada would have the Bhagavad Gita classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for those devotees who have been to 26 Second Avenue, of course, now we see it's very much renovated. But back in the day, it was not like that. It's a storefront. So you can imagine how much difficult it would have been for Prabhupada. He is giving classes, he is doing the kirtan, he is preparing prasadam, he is cleaning the floor, he is teaching them every single thing. He is publicizing his own class. So much effort. Prabhupada put the efforts and we are reaping the benefit. What did we do? Probably nothing. One single person at the age of 70 toiled hard for all of us and Jai Maharaj. Yadi Prabhupada na hoy to, tabe ki hoy to. What would have happened if Srila Prabhupada had not come to America? Lochan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Mangal, he very beautifully says, we oftentimes say, Prabhupada is a chosen Senapati Bhakta. But what is the praman for this? It is in Chaitanya Mangal. Yadi papi dharma chhadi dura deshe jai, mora Senapati Bhakta jai. Lochan Das Thakur, Senapati Bhakta, Bhakta jai. Prabhupada was preaching. And many newcomers were all new devotees. Because Prabhupada was Bhagavad Gita, you see, oftentimes Bhagavad Gita is a scripture that can kind of get philosophical. Action in action. Inaction in inaction. Action in inaction. Inaction in inaction. And you do all the permutation combinations with that. So, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada was speaking. And at one point, it so happened that many of the newcomers who were there, it was too much philosophy for them. So, they would kind of get up, they would stretch their legs, and slowly they would try to sneak out. And Prabhupada knew this will happen. Now, Prabhupada is very intelligent, Krishna Bhakta ei bada chatur. Prabhupada, near the door, would keep buckets of prasadam. Chapati, rice, chole, sweets, etc. Now, the people who would get up, they would try to walk out. But as they would walk out, they would see all the prasadam menu. Chanjis. They would see menu. And now, they want the prasadam, they want the class, but they know that only if they sit the class will they get the prasadam. So now, again, they will slowly walk back and sit in the class. So that was Prabhupada's Lakshman Rekha. Yad gatva na nivartande. Once you come inside, you cannot go out. Why are we talking about this? Because we spoke about prasadam. Mahaprabhu honoring prasadam. Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj was once in Chaupati. And it was the day of fasting. Pandavarnajal Ekadashi. Please hear this. This is the last 2-3 minutes. Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj was there in Chaupati and it was the day of Pandavarnajal Ekadashi. And if you see the Govindas in Radha Gopinath Mandir, there is one entrance from inside and one entrance from outside, from the road. So Maharaj was standing in the road and he was there with one devotee. And it was the day of fasting. So one devotee who was there near Govindas was eating Ekadashi pizza. Nowadays Ekadashi you have pizza, pasta, lasagna, cake. My spiritual master in a very funny way he says, pizza, pasta, narak ka rasta. Of course, not to be taken in the literal sense, he would just joke and he would laugh. He said, pizza, pasta, narak ka rasta. I hope the menu is not pizza and pasta today. I was at one place and I said pizza and pasta and the host started looking at me. I said, what happened? He said, Prabhu ji, aapne sab chaupat kar diya. Itana mehnat se pizza bana, sab chaupat ho gaya. So he was having Ekadashi pizza. And now this devotee who was there with Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he turned towards Maharaj and said, Maharaj, fasting day, eating pizza. This was unnecessary. You know how much Srila Radhanath Maharaj hates Vaishnava Parad. If there is one thing that Maharaj cannot stand, that is Vaishnava Parad. Now this was unnecessary. He told Srila Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj, Ekadashi, pizza. Now he was fasting. So he thought that Maharaj will glorify him. Shabashi denge. Maharaj will glorify him. When Maharaj heard,